Hey folks, a lot of people were asking how they can upgrade their single post to a double post, and we put a kit out here recently, and I'm going to show you how to install that. So depending on when you bought your single post system, if you bought it like early last year, 2021, you're not going to have the stainless hoses. You're going to have vinyl hoses, which are fine. They work great. But it's something you might want to consider upgrading to the stainless ones if you're going to switch over to a double post anyway. But if not, if you didn't buy the system in the spring of 2022, just get a hold of me before you order an upgrade kit so I can get some pictures of your system and make sure that you get everything you need to upgrade it to the newer system. So when you get your upgrade kit, it's pretty straightforward. It's just going to take some time because plumbing takes time, and doing it right so there's not leaks also takes time. So what the kit is going to consist of is a tower with a membrane. The flow is going to be labeled. You're going to have your caps that you're going to have to install yourself. You're going to put the caps on. You have a top cap with 2 elbows and a bottom cap with a single elbow. And when you put your caps on, you want these oriented like this. You want this one so it's pointing out, and then if you flip it, you want this one so it's pointing in that direction. And that'll make a little more sense once we get going. So the first thing I did here that I'm not going to show is I raised the original tower up. And you want to raise it up pretty much as close to the bar up here as you can. That's going to allow these to line up a little better. If you don't raise it up, the recirc valve is going to hit the cap on your new tower. So raise this up as far as it'll go by just loosening the clamps, shimmy it up, and then tighten it back down again. And that one's all set. Next thing you're going to want to do is mount your new tower. So it's going to come with these stainless steel clamps and a backing rubber. So I like to put one clamp on, throw the nut in there. Set the tower so that this T right here, or that elbow, is pointing back. We want that pointing straight back. Just like that. And we're going to set it right there. We're going to wrap our clamp around. So now that little elbow is pointing straight back, so I can hook right into it with a hose. That's what we want. Bring my clamp around. Get it loose, and then put the rubber in there. And then what I did was, before I tighten this, I'm just going to make sure it's not resting on the motor. So I'm just going to pull it up a little bit. And then we'll tighten that down. Now if you look at the configuration of this, that elbow on the bottom is pointing back, and my top elbow is pointing over and down, so I can hook into here with a hose. So I have my elbow pointing right here. Next thing I'm going to do is reroute the flow. So originally this came into my pre-filter, and it went down to the first membrane. What we're going to do is come up to my new membrane. So we're going to come out of my pump, flow up to my new membrane. It's going to flow down across into my existing one, and then out my same valving that I have at the top. So that allows me to not have to change anything with the needle valve and recirculation valve. All that stuff can just stay right where it is. So I'm going to undo my fitting here. Your kit's going to come with a new flare fitting, which you're going to thread into that elbow that was at the bottom. And obviously you're going to want to tape and dope those. I'm just doing this quick so you can see how it goes. Then I'm going to use my flare fitting and hook the hose up to the base. And then what we want to do is turn this original elbow, you should be able to just turn that up without having to redo the tape and dope on it. If it's super tight, you're going to have to loosen it, retape it, and then orient it so it's pointing straight up. So I'm going to flick that around so it's pointing straight up. I had all these fittings loose for this video, obviously. You're going to use the hose that came with your kit. You're going to hook that up into your fitting at the top. You're going to thread that in. And get that nice and tight. Dope it, tape it, and then we're going to hook it to the flare fitting that was here. So now we're coming out of our pump. We're going up to the first tower. It's going to come through that tower, across through the bottom into the existing tower, and then out the top where the original valves were. Your kit will come with a new permeate tee and hose. So you're going to take out what you currently have, hook that into the top of the first one, tee in to the top of the second, and now we have our water outlet, our old concentrate outlet, and then you're just going to rehook your recirc line just from here back into where it was before. Then you'll have your same strainer and everything else. I didn't put my bottom clamp on yet. You would obviously want to do that. And when you're all done, you will have a double post. Just check it for leaks. Make sure you get all your clamps on, the top and the bottom. Make sure everything's tight. It's kind of a pain to trace down leaks when it's all put together. So I recommend you do a really good job. 5 to 10 turns of Teflon tape, then put pipe dope on it as well, and get the fittings relatively snug before you start. That way you won't have to go back through and do it 2 or 3 times. If you have any questions, let me know. And again, if you don't have this stainless steel setup or you're not sure what you're going to need to upgrade it, just shoot us an email at sales@therobucket.com, and I can look at some pictures and even give you a call and figure out exactly what you need so that we don't have to keep shipping stuff back and forth, and we can get you set up. Thanks.